It's Danny Kiparisis's birthday. Happy birthday, Danny, you amazing human being. This one is absolutely for you. We'll talk about him at the end. But it's also One Wellness Nerd Out time. How you guys doing? Happy Saturday. Happy One Wellness Nerd Out time. What's up, Ray? So what I want to talk about today, interesting little study I was reading this morning regarding the difference in effect of working out in the morning versus at night on body composition and strength in different regions of the body, muscle growth, body fat loss, things like that. So it was a 12-week trial. They had 27 active women. They had 20 men, all at similar baseline fitness levels. And they controlled their macronutrient intake so that it was similar over the course of the 12 weeks. All right, so they controlled many factors here. Now, the group that worked out in the morning, as far as females went, they had a greater reduction in total body fat percentage and abdominal body fat. They had increased power output, interestingly, for lower extremity stuff. So I thought that was pretty fascinating as opposed to upper body. So lower body power output was increased in the morning group, but their weight didn't change. So they burn more fat, and the weight doesn't matter, right? It's how you feel, how you look, how you perform. That's important. That's why we don't emphasize the scale too often here, right? And BMI isn't a great thing either. It doesn't take into account body fat and density and all that. But that's the point. So in the morning, burn a little more fat, increase power output in your lower extremities. As far as the night group went, and that was 6 to 8 a.m. in the morning when they were working out. Then the evening group was 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And the women showed a reduction in body fat, but not quite to as great of a degree as the morning group. So they burned a little more in the morning throughout the entire day, on average over the course of 12 weeks. But they had increased power output and strength and performance in the upper body, did the night group, which is interesting. And as far as men go, well, they didn't see much of a difference in body composition for the morning and evening groups, but the men who worked out at night had a greater reduction in blood pressure, which is pretty interesting, I think. Overall increase in strength, in muscle mass. Overall increase in muscle mass was greater with the night group as well. So if you're looking for burning fat, it's the morning. If you're looking at, increase in muscle mass, it's the night. Apparently, it's not conclusive at all. It's one study. The sample size wasn't huge. There are a few flaws, but pretty interesting stuff. Definitely some food for thought. I think overall you're best off just working out according to your schedule, right? But let's kind of talk about maybe why some of these numbers were different here. So people working out in the morning, they were burning more fat. Well, what do you think is going to happen if you do some exercise early on in the day? Well, right, you're getting your body into ketosis quicker. Right, and whether you fast or not, your resting metabolic rate is going to be higher the rest of the day, especially if it was high intensity stuff, right? And so for the whole day now you're burning, whereas at night, their metabolic rate may not have been as high throughout the day, and then at night they hit it hard and they burned some fat, of course, but they didn't have the same reduction in total percent body fat or abdominal body fat, right, in the night group. So that makes sense too. Not as much time following the workout, and during sleep, you'll go through fat as well, right? But being active all day after that workout probably bodes well for burning a few more calories, right, on top of that workout. Why more muscle mass in the night group? We're not exactly positive, right? But a hunch that I have is the fact that dinner tends to be a meal high in protein. Loaded up with protein. So, breakfast, typically people will have a couple eggs and maybe a piece of toast or, whatever, something like that. Not that that's, exactly what we recommend. If you're going to have toast, have Ezekiel bread made of seeds and things, right? No white bread, that's for sure. But this night group, they're going through muscle protein synthesis, which is at a maximum 24 hours after the workout, right? But they're going through muscle protein synthesis after the workout, and they're not going through amino acid catabolism or breakdown of amino acid of protein or in your muscles, right, during the workout, because they're probably well fed around that time or shortly after, right? So I think that may play a role in the increase in muscle mass. Explain the increased power output in upper body at night and lower body in the morning. Well, actually, I was about to be like, I don't know why the hell that happened, but it just occurred to me. This actually kind of makes sense. What do you do all day? You walk around. You move around, you walk around, you're constantly on your feet, right? Especially if you're working. So it would make sense that, maybe you'd have a little less power in your legs at night, and then in the morning, you're coming off fresh, off of, a nice sleep, hopefully that 8 hours. And you're going to have some good power output in the legs. They're very fresh. So maybe that's why, just trying to make sense of it all, right? None of this is, definitive, but common sense, right? Maybe that's what's going on. What up, Wiley4K and MV Dillard? How you guys doing? Danny Kipp, I love you, man. Happy birthday. When I think of you, I think of, dude, you're one of the best people I've ever met. You really are. Everybody that knows you can say that. And your whole family, you guys are all great people. But we'll focus on Dan for a second here. Your nickname should have been Smiles in the Pie House. I'm sure we talked about this a little last year, but it's true. Danny's always smiling. You have an innate excitement about you, a love for life and curiosity, which is a phenomenal thing. If there was one intellectual quality that I would want in my child, it might be curiosity, because I know they'll probably have a couple screws loose, but if they ask a lot of questions, maybe they'll figure it out at some point. You definitely are one of the most curious people I ever met, Dan, and that's one of the reasons you're going to be so successful, aside from your warm energy and the benevolence that you present, and just your great personality, man. You're a great guy. You have a great heart, and I really hope you had a great day today. I hope you're having a great day, because it's only the middle of the day. If you're not doing anything and you want to come to Matt's grad party, you come hang out. I'm sure you're doing something good, man. I hope so, and I hope you're not working. I worked this morning, but I hope your office doesn't have the same hours as mine. When you get off on Saturday, so you could really, really enjoy it. You're going places, man. One day you're gonna have your own practice. I wouldn't be surprised if you had 5 or 10 of them, and it's not because you're about money or about business. And you can do a great job, obviously, in those categories, and that. But it's because you're so genuine. You do genuine work. You wouldn't do it unless it truly worked for someone. You wouldn't do it unless you really believed in it. You wouldn't do it unless you lived it. And I respect that about you. And I'm proud to call you my best friend, man. I love you. Have a great day today. Happy birthday, Dan. It's forever your day in the book of When to Wellness. All right. You guys have a great rest of Kathy, what's going on? How you doing? What's up? Margie! She's been sitting here all the time. Yeah, a little surprised. Doing work, though. So that's why we weren't, hanging out. So we're just hiding away. I'm not saying that. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks a lot. Happy When to Wellness. Enjoy your Saturday. Thanks.